Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jessica Abernathy, and with me today is Tricia Montgomery, and you are listening to Pets Are Family.
Da Bears. Is that a Da Bears on there?
Yep, it's football season.
Oh, I love it. In honor of football season and like warmth, I put a candle in the background there. Can you see that?
Is that in honor of fall?
Happy fall, y'all. Happy
Yeah,
fall, y'all. It is pumpkin season for sure.
I was gonna say, you're trying to make it feel like fall in Florida where it's still like 90 degrees there.
Actually, it's not 90 right now. It's like now it's a cool 68, and it's absolutely beautiful outside. Those 4 months of rain and heat and humidity and hurricanes that we suffered and endured has shown its bright side, and now it's just absolutely glorious outside here. So I love it. It's beautiful. My dog loves it. I don't know where he is right now. I think he's outside on the lanai, but everything's good. How are you, Jessica?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a balmy. I think it's a balmy like 48 degrees outside. You know what I mean? Yep.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
The hoodie is mandatory.
I got a hoodie on in your honor.
Yep, I got the space heater going.
Oh my God. Well, we've got some stuff that we want to talk about today for you guys, our audience, and thank you for hanging in there with us. We love y'all. And we're rolling into a really fun season now where it's holiday time and it's pumpkin season, pumpkin spice, peppermint mocha. Hello, Starbucks. I think I have one over here somewhere.
Did you hear though at Starbucks? I have to say it because it affects me big time. Did you hear that Starbucks is now? I know there's a lot of people boycotting Starbucks, but they won me back for this reason. They are no longer charging for non-dairy. So I cannot drink dairy. So, and when I order my lattes, with either almond milk or oat milk, they would charge me extra for it because I can't do dairy, for reasons, medical reasons. And so, my little latte goes from, $19 to $50 basically, but now they can't charge me extra. They're not charging me extra from that. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but I love that. I think that I love that you don't have to mortgage your first your home, your child, or your dog. So or make it, or like.
Yeah, now we just got to get the rest of them to do this, you know what I mean? Because it's not a fad for me. It's a medical reason I cannot eat dairy, you know what I mean? So, because it actually makes me deathly ill. So, I think that's great that they actually jumped on that wagon. I was like super psyched,
Well, I will say thank you to Starbucks. I think their CEO in the past was Howard Schultz. I don't know who they are now, but thank you, Starbucks. So we went this morning. We got a lovely little drink, and I got Mr. Frank a pup cup, so he enjoyed that immensely. So talking about fall, we're rolling into Thanksgiving, and we're talking about traveling with your pet, or if you're not traveling with your pet, what do you need to do? And I'm just going to real quickly relay a story because I always have stories, you know me.
Of course,
so this week I'm actually traveling first to Anaheim, California to speak at the Hive Conference with our good friend Becky Mosser and some other fine, amazing people. And so I'm part of some discussions at the Hive Conference, which is the Veterinary Technician Practice Manager Conference in Anaheim, California. And then from there, I roll straight into leaving for Thanksgiving to be with my family. And I was going to board Mr. Frank, and because he is not neutered, I decided against that just because of his age and how young he is, and we can talk a little bit about that too, but we won't go down that rabbit hole. I decided not to board him because when they're not neutered, there's not as much interaction with the other dogs in playtime. They just don't allow that at this at a location. And so I made the decision to go through looking at naps and looking at some of those professional pet sitters. And then I went down another rabbit hole. And all I can say is when you get a gut reaction from someone, that maybe this person should not be watching your best friend fur baby, just know that that might be the best reaction that you can have. So talking about that make sure that you're doing this early. And right now with this podcast coming out, it may be a little bit too late. There are still some good people out there, but I had originally said I was going to bring Frank with me to Thanksgiving, and because of some family things and just space issues and other cats and dogs, and there just wasn't a realistic thing that I should be doing for my family, for the sake of my family. Love you, Karen and Cheryl. And so decided against that. So at the last minute, I have now found someone in my home, and I interviewed him, and I'm excited to see what he does, and did that whole background check with him and made sure that he was good and who he said he was. And so we shall see. But talk to me about that, Jessica. What do you think about when you're traveling with your pet? Are you leaving him behind? You taking him? I know you're staying here for Thanksgiving, but in the past you've taken Frank on trips. Talk to me about that.
I have not taken Frank on trips, but I have taken Brutus on trips. I have taken Brutus on here. You can have more coffee if you want. I've taken Brutus on trip. Brutus is like a little world traveler, man. He's got his own car seat. He has his own airplane bag. He's a little traveler. He likes it. I mean, gosh, I can't pick up my purse and he's just at the door. Sits right there, ready to go. He's like, let's go. Teddy was the same way. He liked to travel too. Teddy would run right out the door, run right around to the car and sit right by the back door. Let's go. You know what I mean? He knew exactly what it was. No, you just have to learn how to travel with your pet, you know what I mean? And you start young. I always tell people, start right off the bat. Get them used to driving in the car. Get them used to traveling, however you want to do it. If you're going to be a flyer, make sure you get them used to it. If you're going to fly with them, make sure that they are comfortable with flying. Make sure you have... if you think that they might not be comfortable with flying, make sure you talk to your vet about getting something to help them ease that anxiety. Brutus just doesn't care. He just crashes right out. He just goes right to sleep in his little bag. And as long as he can see up through the top of it and just know that he's with somebody, he goes right to sleep. He has no problem. Sleeps the whole trip. But you just want to make them comfortable. Go ahead.
Do you think, Jessica, that had to do with, from the start of having Brutus, that he was, you took him home from Florida, you came to Florida, and you brought him home with you on a plane. Mm-hmm. Do you think that has something to do with it? And I guess my second question to you would be, do you think that we as pet parents may create our own anxiety for traveling with our pet? Like, I was anxious about taking Frank on the plane, and I decided not to do it just because I think I think it'd have been fine. But I think it was my anxiety about, well, what if he had to go to the bathroom? Well, what if I, those kind of things. And so it was that kind of stuff. Not that anybody out there would think that I'm anxious, but I am.
Yeah, it travels down the leash. Whatever you got going on, it just travels down the leash. So if you're anxious, it's going to travel right down that leash, and that your puppy's going to be anxious. I'm not anxious. So he's just like a chill dog. You and I talked about that the other night. You're like, why is Brutus so chilled? Because mommy's chilled. Thank you, Lennox, by the way, because Lennox helped make mommy a lot more chilled, So, if anybody in the Chicagoland area that's looking for a dog trainer that'll chill mommy out, talk to Lennox Armstrong, because he chilled mommy out. So, but yeah, you know what I mean? I thought about that too, because I was a little stressed when I was coming to Florida to pick up Brutus. Yeah. I was like, what happens if he's got to go to the bathroom? I threw a pee pad in there, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not going to be the end of the world if he does,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had a couple extras in there, and I had a couple in my backpack, but I came with them. If he goes in there, he goes in there. Just pick him up, swap it out, throw him back in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just have to look at it that way. It's like, it's not the end of the world, I mean, he was a puppy at the time, so...
I think as pet parents.
I brought, I have his travel, I have a travel buddy for him, and I keep it for him. He still has it. And I have that, it's a stuffed animal that has a heartbeat. So it feels like he's traveling with so he feels like he's traveling with somebody. So it's still in his travel bag. Goes with him when we travel, and he loves that thing. It just works out that way. And he does great. I mean, we have this one toy, it's his favorite toy, and it's called Fur Folk. It's like the coolest it's for scent work and stuff. Our friend Jen gave it to him. It's like his favorite. Anytime we travel, it goes in the bag with him. It goes in the car seat with him. It's like his favorite. It's kind of like a whoopee. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like for kids, it's like his whoopee. Kind of like Frank's got his lamb. You know what I mean?
Yes, his fur lamb chop.
Yeah, his Fur Folk is his. You know what I mean? And he's just like, let's go.
Yeah.
So, and then he also likes a rainbow unicorn thing. That cracks me up too.
Oh my God. It's interesting because when I first was going to take Frank with me, I contacted Southwest and I because they only allow a certain amount of animals to be on that flight with them. They don't charge you extra for that, but they just need to know, that they're going to be with you. And so, making sure if you're doing some last minute travel plans, the airline still may be able to take you, making sure that you have that pet safe, that great carrier with you that goes under the seat. We can pop some links up there to you because there might be some flights, there might be some people like me who now did last minute cancellation for their dog to go with them for the holidays. And so there might still be some availability for you guys as well, making sure that they've gone to the veterinarian, make sure that they have, if there's anti-anxiety medicine, not for the pet parent, or maybe for both, but for the pet itself.
Yeah.
And being able to travel, and not being anxious about it. And think also to keep in mind that as much as we love our pets, please keep in mind, not everybody is a pet lover. And as hard as that is to admit, a lot of people that I've seen tend to let their pets off leash and they're jumping in. They're supposed to be emotional support animals and they're not. And they're jumping on other people. And there are people that are, afraid or that may not be pet lovers. And it's just out of respect for the people within your sphere and that are traveling with you, as well as making sure that you're training your dog appropriately, and that they're knowing, even if they're a puppy, not knowing basic commands, just making sure that you're in control of your dog. So I think that's really important too. And I think once you get to your destination, to be respectful of other people's space as well, that, not to expect your pet to be running around all over the home of someone else, and to make sure that they're in control, you're in control within someone else's space as well.
Right. And just because he's your emotional support dog doesn't mean he is an emotional support dog. You know what I mean?
Really?
And there's yeah. And that's the difference, you know what I mean? Because, that's a big difference. And that's what people have got to figure out. Because you're going to ruin it for the people that have an emotional support animal,
Yeah.
So, because there's certain criteria that they do have to meet, and... Yeah, there's a lot of people that are abusing that, so just be mindful of that.
I saw something on, I think it was on TikTok the other day, or Twitter, I'm not sure where it was, but somebody had a mini horse in a supermarket that was his emotional support mini horse. And he was having the horse, leading the mini horse through, this Trader Joe's or whatever. And people were like, a horse in a supermarket, that's not an emotional support. And the guy's like, he's my emotional support horse. I can't go anywhere without him. We've gone down that rabbit hole before. We're not going to go into it again, but I think that it's really important to be respectful of other people during this time. I think so. Now I have
it's like you said, but you got to be respectful. You know what I mean? Like and you got to, if you're traveling to. Yeah, and you got to be, if you're traveling with your family or you're going to your friends, you really need to make sure that they are really okay with you bringing your pet. You know what I mean? Like
that's so true.
One of my besties. I mean, she's one of my besties, and she lives out. She used to live in Michigan, Upper Michigan. she likes animals. She's a cat girl. She likes animals. She just does not like you bringing her dog to your house. You know what I mean? So anytime I go visit her, my dog never came with me because she's just not.
Yeah.
She has dogs of her own. She has cats. She just never wanted anybody to bring their dog with you. You know what I mean? So, but she'd come to my house and love all my dogs here, but she just didn't want them at her house. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I get it. I get it. I get it. I have another story. So my lovely sister Karen, who's the oldest of us, I'm the youngest. Will always be the youngest because I look younger anyway. So, love you, Karen and Cheryl. So it was funny because I had been talking about Frank since I got him, and I'm like, he can't wait to see his Aunt Cheryl and Aunt Karen. He's coming for Thanksgiving. I cleared it with Karen. I said, hey, is it okay if I bring Frank there? And she said, yeah, that's fine. When I sent a text and called her and I said, listen, I thought about this. I don't think I'm going to bring Frank with me. I think that it's going to be too much for everyone. I think my sister Karen almost cried in relief because she was saying yes because I wanted to bring Frank with me, that I wanted him with me. And out of just being the beautiful person that she is, she said yes to that when in fact she didn't feel comfortable with it, but she said yes to that because she loves me and she knew that that's what I wanted and what would make me happy. Wanted me happy when come to find out it really was bringing anxiety to her. And, you know, and until I said to her, hey, I've made a decision. I'm not going to bring Frank. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people in the house. There's going to be other, you know, there's going to be other things going on. I want to focus on you all and being with you guys for Thanksgiving as opposed to always having Frank around. Not that I don't love Frank. I love Frank to death. But that when you really bring that up, that the truth comes out, and it was I think it was much a relief to her that I'm not bringing Frank with me. So anyway, just interesting, and then I talked to my sister Cheryl as well, and I think just making sure that that you're being respectful of everyone, and then when in fact they do say yes, is that really yes out of, or is it going to cause anxiety for them as well? So I think understanding that was something that I took some time to do as well. But now that I've got a pet sitter, he came over and just sat down with him for at least an hour, and we had this beautiful conversation, got to know him, his mom and dad, let him actually interact with Frank, take him on walks while I was still there, and then all of this other information and making sure that he's prepared when he comes here to stay at my house. And watch Frank for that extended period of time, that he feels comfortable with everything. Your veterinarian's contact, the food, the feeding schedule, what can you do, what can you not do. I live on a canal and I don't have a fence back there, so making sure that Frank is never off leash near that canal, especially at nighttime, because critters come. And it's easy to chase and not realize, so I never let Frank off leash for that, making sure that he's always on a leash, and then relaying those instructions to the people who are coming into your home. And that it's also something about vulnerability, that you're allowing somebody that you really don't know to come into your home and stay there with your dog, your things, and that trust factor. So it's really it's interesting when you start going more into that.
How many cameras did you buy?
I've got 3, thank you.
Okay. I mean, that's normal. Yeah. I mean, I've been in the industry for years, you know what I mean? It's a normal factor. It's, we call it, Brutus TV, or, it'll be Frank TV, because you want to check in on them. I mean, in our industry now, it's not uncommon to have, I always tell people, it's like, where are the cameras? I just want to know where the cameras are. I mean, I've had a pet sitting business for, this will be my 23rd year. Yeah, it'll be 23 years in February. 24 years, something like that. I don't know. I've been doing it for so long. Yeah, 24 years in February. No, 24 years in December. Yeah, this is my 24th year. Anyway, I've been doing it a long time, Yeah, I've been doing it a long time. Wow, I'm really aging myself now. But I always ask, like a new pet parent, I'm so used to cameras. I don't mind. I just need to know where they are. And the only reason I want to know where they are is just because I need to make sure that you're not filming me if I'm sleeping and if I'm in a restroom. You know what I mean? Just because I just need to know that. That's all I ever need to know. You know what I mean? Because if
you're walking around naked, which I do all the time.
Yeah, there you go. No, but that's the only thing, you know what I mean? Because people like to tap in and do weird things, you know.
Oh my God!
There's an OnlyFans page. Yeah.
How do you think I'm making money? No, I know. I let him know though. I just said, just very honest, and I think that's important because I know whenever I babysat my sisters Charlie and Oliver like 2 years ago over the Christmas holidays, and she's like, "We got a camera over there, we're gonna turn it off," and I'm like, "Whoosh, thank goodness," But it's to me, you need to know, those things, and being very honest and not surprising people for that too. But I think making sure that you're leaving those proper instructions for them, making sure that they've got all the tools that they need to take the best care for your best friend and your that loved one of yours, that four-legged member of your family, because you don't want anything to happen to him, and you want to make sure that welcoming him back into your home. I was had a conversation. We've got a lot of travel coming up here, in January, February, March, April, and May for different conferences that we are attending. So that if this works out, and then plus I got another furry. I got another doggy coming here, coming in 2 weeks to my house. Mohawk, or Hawk for short. He is a gorgeous dog. I'm very excited to get him, and he'll be coming in 2 weeks. He'll be 14 weeks old. Another puppy, guys, that I will have in my midst.
He looks big, man.
I know he's a chub.
Yeah, he looks big. He's beautiful. He's absolutely beautiful.
He's got a half black face and then half like the Merle, that blue and white and gray. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And Frank operates better with a pack. He does. And we work a lot, and it's important to interact. I'm taking him on 3 walks a day and doing all that, but it's important to really interact and make sure that they've got that mental stimulation that they need to, and it's interesting. There was a report from, veterinarians that they're the ones, because they're taking care of other people's animals and taking care of their own business, they don't take care of their own animals. And so we have to make sure, even though we're in the pet industry, animal welfare, and veterinary profession, we take care of our own animals as well. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a good one.
I'm not willing to potty train in the winter.
Well, she was saying, so he's our friend Angela has him in Ohio right now, and she's like, it's getting really cold here and they don't want to go outside, and I'm like, well, don't have that problem here. So we're gonna definitely be okay. Definitely be okay.
Yeah,
Jessica,
now you understand why I don't want one.
So we've got some great things coming up here. I think we're going to do a Thanksgiving episode coming up here. We're going to be talking about different things on. I think next one we're going to talk about the human-animal bond and how important our pets are during this kickoff to the holiday season. So excited about that coming up, and more things as well. Too. Yeah.
So. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a Christmas special for everybody, and that's coming up in December. And then we're going to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and then you and I are going to take a 2-week break for Christmas, and then we're going to start off the new year. So yeehaw. We got a couple things. Yeah, we got a couple exciting things coming up, so it'll be fun.
Awesome.
So
well, guys,
that's it.
Thanks for being with us. It was great to talk to you, and until we see you again,
we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Pets Are Family. You can find us on all the channels now. Yes, all of the channels now. So make sure you share us with your friends, your families, and your coworkers, and anybody that has a pet. Make sure you like us, give us your feedback, tell us if anything that you want us to talk about. all that fun stuff. You can reach me at Jessica at petsourfamily.net or Tricia at petsourfamily.net. Thank you for everything that you guys do, but make sure you like us, subscribe, check us out on YouTube. You can always see what we're up to. And we want to thank all of our sponsors, all of the people that support us. We love every one of you, and we can't thank you enough. And remember, check out Moose's March, moosesmarch.com, moosesmarch.com. Come check us out. Talk to you guys soon. We'll see you next week. Bye.